Alrighty, everyone. I'm going to be doing my weekly review slash monthly review today. Go ahead and get started. Footprints wash, but never leave. Go ahead and filter it out to June. And we'll get started from there. All right. So we took 12 trades this month. We had a slower win rate than last month as well, which means that I did not meet my goal of increasing my win rate percentage. So that is something to really take into consideration and but it is what it is. And I just wanted to say that towards the end of June, I decided that I don't want to be spending 2, 3 months passing combines. I think that's a waste of time, especially with the investment I'm actually putting in, which is just $150. I think it's important to just almost scale up to be able to pass it quicker so that my return on investment makes more sense. Right. So I decided that my max risk for per trade on the combines is now going to be $1,500. It doesn't mean that I have to doesn't mean I have to max out my risk every single time I see a trade. If it's a high quality setup, then I should be maxing out at that 1,500. But if it's a trade that is, very mediocre, just something that I'm not too confident in, then maybe I either one size down or two, I just don't take the trade at all. Right. So those are going to be the goals for heading into July. I'm keeping my current live account at the same risk level as well. So that should be good. But other than that, I'd like to say that this month we did end green for both accounts, the combine and my personal as well, despite us taking 3 straight losses in a row this week. And even me sizing up on some of these trades, I still managed to end green for the week. Or for the month. So that's extremely good. That means that my risk has been extremely consistent. Now for the next month of July, the consistent risk that I'm looking to keep throughout that month is going to be $250 on my personal account, and then risking that 1,500 for the combines. And then from there, once we pass the combines, then we continue to trade high quality setups and detach from whatever outcome that we may have, but just focus on collecting really good data so that we can go ahead and look to increase our scalability. But from there, let's go ahead and just kind of take a look at the P&L. We see that we have taken 4 wins and 5 losses and a couple break-even trades. I want to say a couple of the losses, especially I want to say the most recent ones, have definitely been B to C quality trade setups. Although I want to say that my strategy does get utilized in terms of how I follow my 3-step plan, right? You have the area of interest, direction, and then entry model. However, there were some where entry models just weren't the best. We didn't get all of the alignment, and it almost felt like I was cutting corners a little bit with my strategy, and having an aversion bias almost convincing me mentally that some of these trades are high quality subs, and when in reality they aren't. But we'll go ahead and go through them, and I'll show you the setups that I thought were good at the time, but after looking back, I'm just like, what the fuck, you know? So for this one, this was the first trade that I did take an L on. I think it was a very good trade. We were trading in a discounted area. We were also trading within range. We broke these highs, and overall the market was looking bullish. We got an entry price, just ended up wicking me out before continuing higher. So that for that trade, the lesson for that one was to have my stops at a more significant low, because I did place it at a previous 1 minute low, but just due to these rangy conditions, it might have been better if I had placed it actually at like a higher time frame low, which I believe was like a 5 and 15 minute low right here. So yeah, seeing how it can be protected on there as well. But that was the first lesson that June presented to me. And it was a very good one, because I felt a good trade as well because I had everything was aligned up. It was just super unfortunate that my stop got hit. It is what it is. Here's the second one I took an L on. This one had to do with the fact that I was following the trend, right? It looks pretty bullish. However, market was kind of trading in a range. We were trading near highs right here, in which I was looking for a continuation after price on the 15 minute and the 5 minute did close above these previous open closes, so making new highs and new lows. And for me, I saw the shift and I felt confident enough to take it. But I will say that at the time of entry, I was playing it based off the higher time frame, so the 30 minute and 1 hour, playing out that type two and type two bullish when I could have been a little bit more patient. I think if I had waited for either the 5 or the 15 to close and line up, then that would have been a better setup. At least I think. A chair still. But overall, still got the direction right. Price did end up hitting my take profit at these highs and then after rejected. But I still think that it's one of those trades where it is still lower probability just because price is trading near these highs, right? And although price was showing like it was continuing higher, it's not ideal to be uh taking longs in this area. And I also think that maybe a potential lack of patience did kind of kick in where I wanted to take a trade because if I really was patient enough, I would have waited for some sort of reaction to actually reject this area rather than playing the continuation. But that is what it is. I do think that, let me see, the time of this trade was at 7:52. So I know that after, let's see, now I sit where time stood still. 8 o'clock, we had attempt to push higher and then move over. Okay. Nice. But yeah, taking longs at the highs was mid, but also we were okay with taking a trade long because after moving up into those highs, we did retrace about 50% of this initial move right here, which could lead to a potential continuation. Also aligning with the fact that price did make a type 3 shift on the higher swing as well. So that was another great lesson. Those were two good lessons that I like. Those are two L's that I'm comfortable taking. This one, I definitely think that I had been a little bit ill. I don't want to say ill prepared, but I definitely didn't zoom out, right? So I was under the, I for this trade, I was very heavily biased on being short. That's what yeah, it definitely was a pretty strong bias on this day. I remember seeing the hourly, I believe it was the hourly. Yeah, the hourly had pulled back and retraced into this move right here. So I was very aware that price was trending lower. Price did retrace and I was looking for a continuation, but lower time frame, we did see this reaction. So I was looking to see if after this reaction, price could find some sort of some sort of selling pressure around here. But on the hourly, I just realized that there's no reason for price to move lower around these areas unless we take out any of these highs. And that's what I didn't do. I waited for this area of interest on the 15 and 30 minute right here to give me a reaction. And yeah, we were trading, pretty directional. We did get the direction right in terms of, oh, this is the market is making lower highs and lower lows right now. We did get a reaction right here. We did take out these lows, and now we could potentially see a reaction with a shift to move lower, or price can look to break and move out to higher new highs. And for this one, I saw this as my type 3 shift. That was the entry model. The area of interest was just this general area right here where price had once treated this general area as support, turned into resistance. You're rejecting this area. We rejected it once, rejected it twice, but the thing was that price closed above this high and also this high as well. So this was almost like this was the shift in direction where price could potentially change and flip. So but we are also still overall in this huge down move, right? So we could have also seen a potential opportunity to short near closer to these highs. So the high the higher the retracement, the better opportunity for a potential trade lower. And also just looking at the structure, right? It is bullish on the 5 minute. We did break these highs, and then same thing with the 15 minute as well. 15 minute had closed above here, which would be the different structure. So I was kind of playing against that trend in a sense. Especially with this area right here, we were obviously trending up. We were taking out all these highs right here. We took out this one, we took out these ones. And this pullback on the 5 minute, although we did get a nice, it was a type one close, but this type one close led also was just a pullback on this 5 minute trend. If this type one close was maybe something like this, huge volume takes out more than three candles, and no, I don't want to say that one's a pretty amazing example. I am looking for, yeah, so we have structure right here. So we look for 5 minute structure. A whispered failure. Whispered Sarah. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying. I don't know. But either way, price on the 1 minute, obviously trending bullish. This shift in structure didn't tell me that we were fully flipping bearish, honestly. Like if you were to cover the screen from my entry before my entry, you can see that price is still technically bullish. Like there's nothing telling us that we're strongly reacting and actually breaking through these lows. So that was my mistake right there. So that trade was super mid, super mid. Didn't like taking that one at all. This one was also super mid because I was very aware of how bullish Nasdaq was, and here I am waiting for price to take out these highs first to then look for a potential short opportunity. When in reality, these highs were actually just targets for these longs to potentially pull back and continue up higher. And it's exactly what we did, right? We got a pullback and then we continued higher. So for me, this was just more of not preparing well enough. Like I said, I knew that price was extremely bullish, especially after pulling back and reacting to this area. Price was definitely gonna look to take out these highs. Like there's no reason for price to flip and move lower. This is not a shift. I mean, this could be the shift, but after a pullback right here and such a strong reaction, we can expect prices to target these highs for sure. And then we also had a 15-minute type two and as well. So although we did get like our bearish reaction and the 5 minute close type two bearish, but like this is the same situation again, right? We have now flipped bullish. We've closed above these highs. We flipped bullish. Now any pullback into here is just going to lead to a continuation up higher. This is not a clean sign for a strong reversal, especially with this 5 minute order block kind of just hanging around here. Order block, demand zone, whatever took out these previous highs to flip bullish, that's the situation. Now, if we saw price close below these lows here, if we saw price actually close below these lows here and take out these lows and then have a retracement, then that would be a different story. But that did not happen. But yeah, higher time frame market condition is extremely important. And that's definitely a lesson I feel like I have been needing to take because I have been catching myself trying to find ways to simplify my strategy in terms of, not having to look at the 4 hours much or the daily as much just because they don't hold as much weight. But in reality, they hold more weight. Their levels hold way more weight than any other area, right? So if you mark out a level and you're waiting for a significant move around there, then it's going to take more time. And I think that's super important. But I also know that I do trade on a more shorter time frame basis, right? I do a lot of my trades on the 1 minute. So if we have reactions to hourly levels, hourly 15 or 30 minute levels, I would rather use those more and hold more weight to them just because I know I can get a reaction and find a better trade off of that. So still, there's still lots of things to speak about my strategy and just kind of figure out how we can make it more efficient and more accurate. But yeah. Let's see. There's something else I wanted to talk about. Yeah, just strong bullish move. Yeah, like this area just was not is not strong resistance. Right. We did reject 3 times, but then the minute we pull back and feel higher, then that's different. All right, give me 1 sec. Yo.
Yo, sorry, can't come right now. My girl had to come. Can't come over.
All right, you're chilling. All right, I'm doing something right now. I'll call you later.
Okay, okay. You hop on Discord if you done.
All right, later. Yo. Who's over? Huh?
Nobody.
Who's over?
Who's over?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home.
Okay.
What you doing, bro?
No, let's just hang out.
Where with?
No one.
I buy video.
Okay. Well, do whatever you need to do then.
Two hearts in
What's the mindset we should play with?
Dude, I don't even fucking know. I think he's. Dude, let's see.
fades out, just you and me, floating softly on the velvet sea. Oh, night said, hold me tight, rock and sway.
Wait, how are you getting there? Because if anything, I can drive us.
I'm not looking to us too.
Yeah?
The clock ticks slow.
Go with you.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe I'll put over.
Each note we share.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to say 3.
The songs
Yeah.
Then from there, we can split it. Like, it's kind of something high, but
Yeah.
Monday. Monday's gonna. What he's gonna show up. On the.
Yeah, I think he's gonna show up at like 6 or something like that. But
This plane.
to
yeah.
Yes.
this melody drapes the quiet.
Yeah. If I drive us up there, you wanna help pitch me for gas? For my mom's car? Sweet. Is that's fun? All right, bet. So yeah, just cruise over whenever you're ready then we can go get it. All right. Later.
Oh, serenade.
Okay. Let's finish this review. And then I got some stuff to use. Yeah, that's pretty much it actually. But other than that, a couple break evens, pretty good trades. I definitely think moving into the next month, be a lot more pickier with the trades you take, the ones that you're willing to put risk on. Because remember, every time you click that button, it is considered an expense. You can never assume that it is going to be a profit, I guess you could say. Focus more on the longer term, focus on the process. Remember that every trade idea you take is going to be a part of your data sample. So you want to make sure that it is the highest quality data that you can take. And you can definitely see that with those last 3 losing trades that I took, not as high quality, right? I mean, like even just now having this in my journal, like I'm glad it's in my journal and I'm glad I'm journaling it, but I also know that it could have been different trades. It could have been trades that are set up way better, look cleaner, but just not this week. So definitely something to improve on. And I know that as long as if I continue to master my self-awareness and master the ability to recognize these situations where, the mental switched a little bit, where I'm not taking the best setups. If it's really good for me that I'm catching those now, and then after I'm going to be applying whatever structure I've created to become better. So these are all good data points, but they could be better. That's what I'm saying. But other than that, I think that's going to be the end of this trade review for the month. Like I said, I could have been way better at picking my trades, but it is what it is. And the road to success is still strong. I have not blown any accounts. I have not traded emotionally whatsoever. I didn't go ham on, uh, I didn't feel foam. I didn't blow any accounts, which is, first of all, that's good, but that's now, like, I want to say bare minimum, right? We level up from there. So you don't want that to be your baseline. Your baseline now is, I want my baseline to be taking high quality setups every single time. So that every single time I come to the market, without a doubt, it's a high quality setup. That's how I want it to feel. So July is going to be super exciting, extremely exciting. We're about to hit a full year of journaling through through Notion, and also with this strategy, it's going to be a full year being committed to one strategy, which is gonna be fucking insane. But it's a big accomplishment on my end, because the first 3 to 4 years of my career, I've been switching different strategies. I didn't have a structured journals entry set or structured trading journal like this one. Yeah, I've had TradeZella. I've had those platforms, and I'm not saying they're bad, but I'm one who likes to mess around with data and put different combinations to see what works and what doesn't. And, honestly, just seeing how Tom journaled his trades is what really inspired me to do it exactly like his, because seeing the data points almost like it's like a very neat Excel sheet for me. Like, just seeing this aesthetic really made it enticing to just want to take take good trades and journal them. Like, yeah, of course, there were days where I've been like, fuck this, I don't want to journal, I don't want to do all that. But now that I have made it so consistent, and especially sticking through this journal and having another variation of my old journal, just going through it and just committing to that really just helps build so much more confidence. Like, I can see it in my P&L, although it's like, for me right now, this is like my P&L is like slowly curving up, right? I'm starting to really reap the rewards of just executing consistently, maintaining a consistent risk, and just taking high quality setups. So to really get my equity curve and I don't want to say equity, to get my learning equity curve to start to blow off, what I need to do now is continue doing the same things, be so much more aware of these moments where you feel like you see a high quality setup. The moment you feel like you have to rush into an entry is the moment you need to actually be patient and be like, wait, hold on, this might not be it, right? Just take a step back, 30 seconds, recollect it, flip the chart upside down if you need to get a different perspective, and then make executive decisions based off of that. So now my goal to get to extreme profitability, whatever you want to call it, is going to be scaling. Realistically, it's going to be scaling. Like, if I want to be making 10, 20, 30, 50, 100K a month, it's going to be scaling. But you can't scale if you can't do things consistent. So right now, I mentally feel, I only keep feel, it sounds so stupid. I mentally am at the point where I am just still trying to build that consistency. And then I'm also, I also do feel ready to be able to scale, hence why I gave myself the ability to increase my size on the combines. But I do see how it can have an effect on my trading decisions if I'm not comfortable with that risk yet. And I do think that on the 26th and 27th were the days where I started where on the 26th was the day I decided that I was going to increase my risk so that I can like pass these accounts quicker. I don't need to be taking 30 fucking trades for this account. And I just realized that it has an effect on me a little bit, but I'm still going to go into next week maintaining that same size, but it's not going to be the the big red flashing thing that shows up in my head. I'm going to make sure that what I focus on first, the most importantly, is the setup. And I hate to admit it, but I definitely wasn't focused on that on Thursday and Friday. Like I wanted to just see green ticks. I just wanted to see the market move in my direction. I wasn't actually in the flow with the market. So yeah, it's a journey of just learning about yourself straight up. So but it's it's there. July is going to be a great month. It's going to be a month of consistently collecting data. Like I keep saying it over and over again, but that's literally what it is. You get paid to collect data, and it's just a matter of how well you can execute. So, let's see. But overall, I will say, although they're not like the highest quality setups, they are setups that do follow my strategy in terms of my three-step process. And I have not missed a day where I have not followed my three-step strategy ever since tracking that in May. So since the blow up in May, I have been taking very good setups. I don't want to, not very good setups. I've been taking setups that follow the criteria of my strategy. That's how I should say. But yeah, that's going to be the recap for the month. I definitely think that it was a great month and I look forward to July and the opportunities that presents itself for me. But other than that, um, personally, let's see. In my personal life, what's going on in my personal life that could be affecting it? Honestly, nothing. I've been pretty good. Just been locked in and just been doing work. Everything's just kind of been the same over the last couple of months, which is good because that's what help builds consistency, right? But I also think that there are times where you just kind of have to relax a little bit. But with that being said, life events. Well, one of my closest friends is leaving for med school, which is pretty cool to see, but a little bit sad. But that's life. Life moves on and it grows. Other than that, yeah, it's just I want to say throughout the week I've just maintained discipline actually throughout the whole time. So I can't even say that it's been nothing's mentally really shifted really. I've just been executing and feeling more detached. I'm gonna be honest, like that's what it feels like. This week has definitely been more detached. Like although slow week, still detached. There's a lot of things to be grateful for, honestly. And I think that as long as if I just practice detachment and yeah, no, it's important to know what you want, right? It's important to know what you want and set the goals that you have. But from there on out, once you have set out the goals for what results you want, you stop focusing on the results and now you start focusing on the most important thing, which is the process that you have set out to be able to get to where you want to be. So that is where I'm also trying to work on more as well is just being more just be more detached. Like just enjoy every single day. It's hard to sometimes for sure when you see there are people your age or young. You get into comparison mode where you see people your age or younger even just doing way better than you, but it is what it is. It is your journey. Mentally have yourself already be where you want to be is what I keep seeing. And easier said than done, right? To be able to maintain that at a high level and doing it every single minute, hour of the day, crazy. But yeah, and then the trade review. I keep saying that, but I think I'm done rambling for today. So I will go ahead and see you guys next week.
That's good.